Alright, what's up? Today we're going to be talking about my first take on the 12 new champions. These are going to be really rough lists. They're going to capture the idea of what I think that the legend is trying to do. This is going to speed run. I'm not going to dive into it super in depth, but we're going to start off with Rumble. These are in no particular order. We got our red-blue legend with the ability your mechs have shield. For battlefields, we're going to be doing Trifarian Warcamp, Arena's Greatest, and Treasure Hoard. I think that Treasure Hoard is a great energy sink. This is a pretty neutral battlefield. You'll get a lot of value out of it. Arena's Greatest for when you're going first. I think this deck can be pretty aggressive. And then Trifarian Warcamp because this is a little bit of a swarm deck. We're starting off with 3 of the Red Rumble and 2 of the Blue one. I think that you will start Red Rumble almost always, and Blue Rumble is just a great value to have, and you can get a lot of value out of it by holding, and it being an anthem to all your mechs is huge. Red Rumble giving you Assault is awesome. We're on 1 Blood Rush, 1 Cleave. The idea is that you didn't always need the +3 from Cleave, and when you need more, Blood Rush can do that. You want to be aggressive, you want to be taking battlefields, but Blood Rush and Cleave, just a nice one-of to try it out. 3 Stupefy is just a great card. It cycles, and it's going to help you trade up. 1 Danger Zone, it's an anthem to your mechs, and you can repeat it. So you're going to be +2 to all of your mechs out of nowhere. Really strong. I'd love to slot in a second one. It's just space is tight in this deck. 2 Retreat, 3 Jammer. We're just going to play all of the mechs that we can. It's pretty self-explanatory. Retreat to keep your units safe. 3 Forecaster, 3 Bubblebot. Forecaster giving you vision, letting you dig for what you need. Bubblebot coming in ready, kind of, that aggressive play. So now turn 1 you play a 2-drop, turn 3 you play a Bubblebot, and now you get to try and conquer both battlefields. And you actually have 1 rune up if you're going first, 2 runes if you're going second. 3 Wages of Pain. I think that getting a gold is going to be huge. You've got some power costs that you'd love to avoid because you got some late game cards that you'd also love to play. 3 Kaisa, I think it's the best red card. There's almost no reason not to play it. You're going to run the retreats with it as well, and you've got Cleave, Assault. I did 1 Rocket Barrage. I think that it's just a good value. You're going to be able to knock out gear. You're going to be able to kill units in base. Singularity doing a similar thing. Maybe this is where you could find spaces cutting 1 Singularity for that second Danger Zone. 3 Production Surge. It draws you a card, makes you mech. It's like everything you want to do in this deck. 3 Ferocious Forerunner. It's a 6 that also is going to give you 2 mechs, so you can use it to trade aggressively, get your mechs, and those mechs are going to be worth more because of your Rumble, because of your other Rumbles, giving it Assault, pluses. Yeah, this is a great 3 of 2 Singularity, 2 Watcher, because it's still the best board breaker in the game, and then 1 Breakneck mech. This is just a nice little tech, give your units deflect, ganking. It's a great game ender. Yeah, so that's a quick take on Rumble. Now let's jump into Lucian. You got your red, orange. These are very aggressive colors. Your equipment are going to give Assault. So we're really going to focus on equipment. And then actually your champion units, your Lucians, give you a lot of value out of this equipment. So you've got the orange Lucian who's going to be your weapon master. And then I'm doing 1 red Lucian who's going to be in your champion zone, your chosen champion. And basically you're going to use him to try and get value with your equipment, getting lots of assault and just one-shotting something, getting onto a battlefield very easily. You set him up. If they kill him, that's okay. You didn't invest too much. If they don't kill him, then he's going to nuke somebody on the board. You got your 1 punch first. It's just a huge blowout card, +5 for 1. People are always going to have to play around it. Good to respect it. 2 Blood Rush, 2 Cleave. This is a very aggressive deck. 2 Sabotage, just to look at your opponent's hand. Playing orange, I feel like you have to play at least 2 Sabotage. Almost always. 2 Dirk, 1 Hex Drinker. I think you could switch these numbers around depending on how much like Kaisa or targeting spells you expect to face. We're on 2 Relentless Pursuit, 3 Poro, 3 Pouty, 3 Veteran. You're going to get a lot of value out of the Weapon Master on Poro because you're playing so many weapons. You're going to be on 2 Blade as well. It's another number you can flip around here. Assault 2, +2. +2 is obviously better, but with the Assault synergizing with your Lucian. So you're an aggressive deck. Relentless Pursuit is also going to let you conquer and then save your units, so you can be very aggressive. I'm on 3 Bone Shiver because Lucian doesn't have a way to get you runes back for when you're equipping aggressively, and Bone Shiver is going to let you do that along with Qiyana. So these are ways to get your runes back after you equip very aggressively. You got the 3 Noxious Hopeful. It's a 4/4 for 2 a lot of the time, which is just great value. 1 Vayne. It's a very aggressive deck. The idea is that this is going to help you, sneak boards, and her coming in for 5 and now sometimes 7, 8, 9 when you've got equipment to throw onto her is very scary, and then you can bounce her back to your hand if you want her back. 3 Kai'Sa, again, it's just a broken red unit. 2 Qiyana, 1 Ashkan, because I think this guy is going to be sneaky good in all orange decks. If you have the 2 orange runes, you're going to be able to steal equipment, which is going to be huge, and then you can even attach it to him. So yeah, people are going to have to be careful and not try and play around Ashkan. And then triple Darius. It's an aggressive deck. We're red colors. Darius does everything we want him to do. Yeah. Oh, I didn't talk about... Sorry, let me talk about the battlefields for Lucian real quick. You've got Arena's Greatest. You're an aggressive deck going first. It's going to be insane. Forge of the Fluffed is going to help you take advantage of Lucian not tapping and giving him a tap ability. That's going to let you equip your equipment. And then Treasure Hoard, I'm a big fan of in all of these decks that are so greedy for power and equipment, wanting to use them to just get value. It's a great little 1 sink. Sometimes you're going to have that extra mana or that extra energy to spend, and you're going to be able to get value with it. I didn't build sideboards for any of these, by the way, but let's look at Draven. So when I win combat, draw 1 card. So going into this, I'm thinking like Annie style. So we're going to Zon Warren's game 1. We're on triple scrap heap. And we're going to draw very aggressively. And then everything is focused on taking battlefields, winning combats to draw us extra cards. So we got the Blood Rush and the Cleaves. We've got our red Draven as our chosen champion. Then we've got Gust, Traveling Merchant to synergize with our scrap heaps. 3 Pouty Poros, making it harder for our opponent to deal with our threats. Then we've got the Vi, Ride the Wind combo. Again, just trying to win combats, close out games. We've got Flash, Fight or Flight as defensive options, as well as a Rebuke. Triple Deckhand, a Rengar just to try him out. 3 Hopeful, that 4/4 body. The Vayne, Kai'Sa, Darius. You're very combat skewed, and it turns out that with like Vayne, with Kai'Sa, you can win a combat, draw a card, and then you can also get the Conquer, draw a card, and Vayne return it to your hand, which is kind of like drawing a card and keeping her safe. And then 3 Darius, because it's red. A lot of these lists hopefully are going to look somewhat similar. I think they're a great place to start, and it'll be cool to see how this deck shapes throughout the rest of the meta. I can see Purple Draven being a really interesting build. If you can protect him really well, then you'll be very rewarded and get extra points that you shouldn't have. We're on Rek'Sai. We're on a 7-5 split, heavy on red. Rek'Sai is going to let you, when you conquer, so it's a red deck. We're going to play aggressively. We're going to play our Cleaves. We're going to play our Blood Rushes. And with that, it's basically going to give us a free card. We're going to look at the top 2, and we're going to be able to play something from there. So in general, the curve of this deck is going to be low. Treasure Hoard, again, for our greedy value to get extra power so that we can accelerate units like with Rek'Sai's ability, pay for cards like Void Seeker, Rengar, Hidden Blade. Those gold gears are going to be really great. Arena's Greatest for when we're going first, and then Seed of Power because we're an aggressive deck. I think you could even go Seed of Power in Draven, Lucian. Any of these decks that you want to conquer both battlefields on your turn usually is going to be huge. And to help facilitate that, we're on 1 Blood Rush, 2 Cleave, 3 Hatchling, which is going to let you peek at the top of your deck before you trigger Rek'Sai, which is amazing. Then 3 Void Rush, same thing. It's just Rek'Sai's ability, except everything is going to cost 2 less, and you get to just draw those cards. So this card's crazy. 2 Hidden Blade, it's just a great yellow card. It's going to help you keep battlefields and maybe draw cards if you need it. And we're on 3 Poro. The Assault 1 is what we really want. We want to be conquering battlefields, and then 1 Glory Seeker. I wanted 7 2-drops because this is an aggressive deck. You don't want to miss your 2-drops. Trifarian Glory Seeker coming in as a 3 sometimes is going to be very big. We're on the 1 Rengar. This is an aggressive deck. He's going to come in for 5 out of nowhere and is Very powerful. 3 Void Drone to just get value off of our Rek'Sai and our Void Rush. You can play Void Drone for free off of Void Rush, revealing Void Drone, which is awesome. Void Seeker is just a strong red card. You want to have some combat tricks. I could see, pulling this out for more Blood Rush and Cleaves, or even more top end. 3 Noxious, 2 Vayne, 3 Kaisa, 3 Darius, and then 2 Drag Under because you get extra value out of this deck. Casting it for 3 and a yellow is huge. It's very cheap to kill a unit out of battlefield. Then 2 Draven. This is an aggressive deck. Dropping a big Draven is going to happen a lot. And then 3 Under Titan, because this is going to add 2 resources if you reveal it, which is going to let you cheat the curve. And then when you play it, it's going to anthem your board, and you should be able to go quite wide sometimes, getting the extra cards off of Rek'Sai. So yeah, I could see cutting Dravens, maybe bringing in Seals and Vanguard Captains, stuff like that, treating it more like a Hook Darius deck. But this is how I'm choosing to build Rek'Sai. Then we've got Ornn, 6/6 split, and the ability is tap out of power, and you can only use it to play gear or use gear's abilities. And then battlefields wise, we're going to be on Dreamy Tree, Targon's Peak, Grove for when we're going first, because this deck's planning on holding battlefields. Dreaming Tree, probably just our game 1 start always, and then Targon's Peak for when we know we're going second. And then here we're going to be starting green Ornn as our chosen champion. He's always going to find us a gear. Not always, but top 4, we're playing a lot of gear. You should be able to find it. And then Ornn Forge God. The blue one is just going to be our absolute powerhouse beast, who hopefully is just going to be massive and they're never going to be able to deal with him. That's the game plan. 2 Defy to help, protect your big guys. Triple Stupefy, 3 Cloth Armor. This is like a +2 on defense, which is huge. 1 Doran Shield. Tank will be really nice on this Ornn, so you'd love to find it. 2 Retreat, because you love to protect your units. A Charm. We're in green, it's good value. 1 Not So Fast. If they have spells that are going to be interacting with your units or your gear, you want to be able to stop that. I think it's a nice one of in green decks. You'll see that I put this in a lot of my green decks as a one of, and I'm moving towards this 2 Defy, 1 Not So Fast split. Then 1 Brutalizer and 2 Guardian Angel. The space in this deck is pretty tight. There's a lot of good gear and like only 1 shield, only 1 Brutalizer. It's going to be hard. Space is going to be tight. But with the Ornn ability, you should be able to move Brutalizer around as you need it. Guardian Angel is going to be like our Zonius, but we're always going to try and put it on like our Ornns. Then we've got 3 Apprentice Smith just to help us dig for our gear. 3 Discipline, 3 Poro. Poro's awesome because he's going to draw us a card. We don't really need to stack things. We can just let them trade into them. We're going to have gear, which is hopefully going to let us trade up. Then we've got 3 Yordle. We want to make sure we're drawing cards, seeing our gear. Which, speaking of gear, we're going to have 2 World Atlas, a Shirelia's Requiem, a Forge Fire Cape. These are our signature equipment from Ornn. We're not playing Deathcap because there's only 1 card that we'd get value off of it, and that's Singularity, which is crazy. 9 damage and 9 damage is a lot, but I just don't see us needing that too often. And then we're on 2 Sprite Mother. I really want this to be 3 because you play a Sprite Mother and now you get to send in a Sprite with a gear on it, and if it's a Brutalizer, it's going to be a 6. So you're going to send in 6 power sprites like all the time for free because of Ornn ability. That's crazy to me. 1 Singularity because it's a blowout, and then occasionally, and then 2 Thousand-Tailed Watcher to help us close out games. Yeah, I think this list has a lot to be refined, but I think it's a good starting place. Potentially getting 2 gold gear for holding is going to be awesome because it's going to help us maintain our curve when we're playing these cards that cost power. Okay, let's take a peek at Jax. We've got our green orange, which is very, I like to think of it as big. It's just big. It's like we're going to have big stuff. And we've got 1 to attach a detached equipment and tap, or tap to attach an equipment you control to a unit you control. So if a equipment is unattached, you have to pay 1. If it's already attached, you just have to tap your Jax. And then we're on 7/5. We are using orange heavily. And then battlefields wise, we've got Windswept Hillock to give ganking. I think we're going to kind of have a absolute monster unit, and we're going to want to be able to move it between battlefields easily. Ganking is going to help a lot with that. Dreaming Tree, because we're green, we've got the best spells to target our units with. And then Veiled Temple. We're going to try this out because the idea is that you can kind of move your gear around as you need. And detaching the equipment is really helpful because it will give you value off of this Orange Jax, which is going to be our chosen champion unit. This might be really greedy, so I could see switching this battlefield so easily. But yeah, basically with Jax, if you attach an equipment, you can pay 1 to draw a card. So that's going to be our draw engine, and then it's going to be defend Jax. So we're on our 2/5s, Warmogs. Hopefully we can buff our Jax. Punch Fist, that +5, 2 Sabotage, because like I said, it's orange. We really want Sabotage green. We're always going to want our Defies Not So Fast. I could see trying to get more Not So Fast into this. Yeah, but we're on 1 Hex Drinker, 1 Brutalizer. Giving Deflect would be huge to our Jax. Got 3 Apprentice to help us find our equipment. Jax is going to be really dependent on that equipment. 3 Guardian Angel to keep Jax alive. 3 Discipline because this is green. 3 Challenge because we're really just planning on suiting up one really big guy and going to town with him. 3 Poro, we want our 2 drops, and Poro is going to draw us cards. 3 Counter Strike, it draws you a card and stops the damage. Again, we're just going to save our units and really shut down combats. And then it's cool, it's going to help you hold battlefields too, because if they can't kill your unit and you're the defender, you're going to keep the battlefield. 2 Lucian, he's got Weapon Master, and then he's going to help you kind of get value out of his Conquer trigger by having like equipment equipped to him, conquering, and then being able to move back to base, or being able to gank across with Windswept Hillock. 3 First Mate, because when you're kind of building this castle style deck, you want to be able to move your unit to the other battlefield. First Mate's going to help you do that. And then 2 Bone Shiver, we'd love to ramp. We've got quite a few power costed cards, and if we fall too far behind, it'll hurt us. So Bone Shiver is going to be awesome for, keeping us in the rune game. And 1 Janna, because she's very strong. She's a push for green. Push being, move a unit from the battlefield to the base. 1 Primal Strength to help you hold battlefields. 2 Kiana, again, to draw cards, channel runes, very good. And then 1 Ashkan. I'm always going to try and sneak him into my orange decks because I think he's a great tech card. Okay, then we've got Irelia, our green-purple. So her abilities, when you choose a friendly unit, you may exhaust me and pay a power to ready it. So you're always going to be able to ready units basically because you've got a bunch of choose spells. And then when you conquer, you can pay 1 to ready her. So you can basically just loop this ability. Yeah, really good. We're going to play Back Alley Bar because this is kind of another castle style deck where we're going to try and use this Irelia to move across battlefields, and Arena Bar will give you an additional plus, which you are going to need sometimes. Battlefields wise, we got the Targon's Peak to ready 2 runes. You're in green, and purple, which have really great interaction on your opponent's turn. And then Dreaming Tree, because this deck is built to choose one of your units. So yeah, we're on purple Irelia. I think we need to green Irelia. I think we need to find a way to get a second one in here, because if it dies, you're going to be hurting. But yeah, so we're on triple Shot Call. The idea is that this is a +1 always. In the late game, it'll help you dig for what you need, and it's going to be very combo-y with Irelia. So Shot Call's amazing. 2 Defy and 1 stack deck, because there's just not room for the 3, even how badly I want them. The green package, 2 Defy, 1 Not So Fast, 3 On Guard, 2 Gust, and 3 Defiant Dance. This is her signature spell. It's basically a 4 power swing, which is huge. And then Gust is going to help keep us in the game. We might be a little slow if we don't hit a 2-drop, which we're playing a million, but yeah. 3 Guardian Angel, we really want to protect Irelia. 1 Flash, 2 Ride the Wind. This is going to help us move across battlefields and then maybe not have to use the power off of our legend. 2 Feral Strength, a Morbid Return, try and get back our green Irelia if she ever dies. 3 Merchant, and 3 Treasure Hunter as our 2-drops. They both have move synergy, and we're playing Flash and Ride the Winds to help get extra value, as well as Fight or Flight. Then we're on 3 Discipline. This is another choose spell. We're going to get discounts for doing that. Then we've got Rebuke, because it's crazy in purple. 2 Boots of Swiftness. We should cycle through our deck really well, and if we can give Irelia ganking, then we can go battlefield to battlefield for just one power, which is going to be great, or sometimes no power, because if we held the battlefield, then we can just go straight across. And then 2 Mind Splitter, because this is purple, and if you can look at your opponent's hand and know exactly what they have, then they're playing off the top of the deck, and you can rip out the best card that hurts you the most. So that's my take on Irelia. Okay, here we go. Azir. I think Azir is going to be really awesome. He's got your Sand Soldiers have Weapon Master, and then 1 tap, make a 2 Might Sand Soldier. Only do this if you played an equipment. And then we're on 6/6 yellow Order Calm Runes. Battlefields wise, we're on Forge of the Fluffed. If you can't play a weapon, but you have one on the board already, this is going to help you, move your equipment around. Here, I actually don't like Veiled Temple anymore in the Azir deck. I don't think you need to ready any of your equipment. So, yeah, I would swap that out already. A Treasure Hoard, because you need power. You really need power when you're playing all this equipment, and you don't want to be punished for using too much of it too fast. So, yeah. We're on Yellow Azir as our chosen champion. He's going to be our game closer. Basically, we're just going to try and build a board by playing equipment and then using Azir, and then slowly get onto the battlefields. And then if they can't kill our equipment and our units, then we're going to win. But they especially probably won't kill our equipment. And then we will eventually just stack it onto Azir, take lots of battlefields that way in the end of the game. On triple Death Grip, because if they're going to kill your unit anyways, you might as well use it to buff one of your other units, draw a card, and potentially trade. So this can be a lot of value. Then 3 Brutalizer, you have to play like all of your equipment. 3 Guardian Angel, 3 Sacred Shears. Guardian Angel though is interesting because you sometimes aren't going to even want to equip it to one of the Sand Soldiers that you make. And then 3 Shears to help you go through your deck. It's going to draw you a card. 3 Discipline because we're green, which is why we're on the 2 Defy. Looks like I didn't have room for that Not So Fast. And then 3 Desert's Call. You just want more Sand Soldiers. To find your center, I really want to dig through my deck and find the equipment. That's like what you do. You play equipment, you make Sand Soldiers. And then 3 Legion Quartermaster, because it'll let you pick up your equipment, replay it, and then re-trigger Azir, as well as putting this 4 Might body on the board for 3. It's all upside. 2 Guards, it's a nice little hidden ability to play a 2/2 Sand Soldier, which can then equip an equipment, and if it's a BF Sword, it's a 5 Might unit out of nowhere. Also, if you want to play really aggressively and you're going second, you can just drop a 2/2 onto a battlefield immediately. And then triple Arise, because you're gonna get so many Sand Soldiers in the late games, and this is kind of your win con. Okay, now we've got Ezreal, who's going to be a very tricky deck. He's got the ability to tap himself, or rest himself, draw a card, but you can only do that if you've chosen enemy units and or gear twice this turn with spells or abilities. So this deck has a lot of choosing. We're going to play Dreaming Tree. This is a purple deck, and I will always look to play the Zon Warren's Game 1 strat with Scrap Heap. And Scrap Heap is especially crazy because your chosen champion is Ezreal. So you actually will just always be able to play Scrap Heap, and it will be a draw 3 off of Ezreal, which is crazy. 3 Called Shot, 3 stack deck. This is a power aggressive deck, and I could see swatching this Reaver's Row actually for our Treasure Hoard, because we desperately are going to want power to cycle through our deck. So with 3 Called Shot, 3 stack deck, and 3 Stupefy, we're going to be drawing through our deck so fast. And that's why you'll see we're on just a million one-off. So 1 Bellows, this is going to immediately trigger Ezreal. 1 Gust, 1 Retreat, 3 Scrap Heap, 3 Merchant, 1 Frigid Touch, 1 Flash, 1 Ride the Wind, 1 Student, 1 Flight, and triple Treasure Hunter, again to give us more power. This is a power-hungry deck. 1 Rebuke, 3 Yordle to draw us cards, 1 Card Sharp, give us more gold. Arcane Shift can replay our cards like Mind Splitter, Thousand-Tailed Watcher, and even save Mundo if he's under trouble. 1 Rocket Barrage, this is gonna immediately trigger Ezreal. And bear in mind that purple Ezreal is gonna discount all of this. Either 1 cost less or 1 power less, which is huge when we additional costs to pay. So this would be 7 in 2 power or 8 in 1 power, which is really good. 1 Sprite Mother, just good value. 1 Singularity, 1 Mind Splitter, 2 Watcher because it's blue and 1 Mundo. And the theory is that we should actually be able to find all of our cards and then kind of get ourselves into a end game state where Mundo is recycling our 3 cards, and then we're going to be able to draw those pretty fast because of our hero, because of our legend Ezreal, and then it only being 3 cards. Yeah, okay. Renata. Renata is our control deck. She's crazy. You want to hold battlefields to get gold, and then if you're within 3 points of winning, gold actually adds an energy. We're on 4/8 Order Mind, and we're treating Renata like it's a Aurora deck. We want games to go long, so we're going to play Aspirant's Climb, Forgotten Moment, and Obelisk of Power. Forgotten Moment's going to help keep the score low. Aspirant's Climb is going to make it a 9-point game. And then Obelisk of Power is going to ramp us, which we desperately want. We're on blue Renata because we are trying to win games using this score a point and time warps. Okay, we're on 3 Stupefy, 2 Retreat, 2 Hidden Blade, 3 Scout, 3 Cold a Week, 3 Sentry, 3 Honest Broker. Scout's going to ramp us. Honest Broker is going to give us gold, which is going to help us win the game. 3 Yordle, 3 Card Sharp. We desperately want gold. 3 Wages of Pain. Again, we desperately want gold. We also want to be getting onto battlefields. So we're playing Sprite Mothers, Hostile Takeovers, Singularities to clear battlefields, Watcher to get onto those battlefields, and then Triple Time Warp to close out games. And reasonably, with Renata, Time Warp game ending is going to be very real. So yeah, I'm super excited to try this list out. Let me know what your Renata looks like. And honestly, who are you excited for? Okay, here's my Sivir list. The way that I'm picturing Sivir is that she can be insanely aggressive, and then you actually you don't get punished for playing aggressively and recycling your runes aggressively, because you're going to get that gold back and be able to use that power later. So we've got Sivir as our chosen champion, and she's got Accelerate. She's going to come in. If you spend at least 2 power, she can get +2 in ganking, which we're going to be spending a lot of power in this deck. 3 Called Shot, 1 Seal, because we're spending so much power. 1 Punch First, because it's orange, it's a blowout card. 1 Sabotage, 1 Gust. 3 Stack Deck, 1 On the Hunt. Oh, Battlefields wise, we are on Zonwarren's Arena's Greatest and Candlelit Sanctum. You'll see why we're on Sanctum, and Zonwarren's is because we're on the Scrap Heap package game 1 with our merchants. And then we're on Ride the Winds, Sea Monkey, 3 Treasure Hunter. We want to use power very aggressively. Rebuke, Doran's Blade. Doran's Blade is going to help buff these guys up and then help facilitate using that power, triggering Sivir, and yeah. And then we're just going to keep using power throughout the game. Got Lucian, Bone Shiver. Honestly, I think I need to find a way to get more equipment into this deck, because 2 Lucian and only 4 equipment is a little rough, but yeah. 1 Primal because it's a blowout in orange. Kiana to help us get our runes back. And then we're on Nocturne because we've got our triple Called Shot and our 3 stack deck. So we should hit Nocturnes for free. And then when we pop out a Nocturne, we're actually going to get a gold for it. And then once you do that once, the rest of the Nocturnes are going to be free off of that gold. Then 1 Ashkan because I think it's a blowout, and then 2 Rasa. Again, you could play Rasas for free because of gold. But yeah, I think Sivir actually has a lot of legs, and it's just going to take a bit to get to a refined list, but I like something like this. Okay, our final deck, we've got Fiora, the Grand Duelist, and we're on 3 Order 9 Body. The idea with Fiora is to go big. So when one of your units becomes mighty, you may exhaust me to channel 1 rune. So you can do some cool stuff with Purifier in War Camp, like you move a Fiora into it. It becomes mighty, you channel a rune. That's ramping. Sunken Temple. You're trying to make your units mighty, so they better be mighty when you move them here, and then you're going to draw a card. And then Arena's Greatest for when you're going first. I could see this flipped to like literally any other battlefield, but I think it should be quite good because you can be quite aggressive. We're on 3 Fiora, yellow. That is our chosen champion as well. She's bonkers. 2 Sabotage, 3 Pit Rookie. Hopefully you throw the buff on Fiora, or it's just a 2-drop. 3 Unsung Hero. If it's mighty, you draw 2 cards when it dies, which is huge. You really are going to be short on cards, so you want to get value there. 2 Sea Monkey. The idea here is that if we can play 3 power units, then we equip them with Doran's Blade. And that Doran's Blade equipment is essentially free because we're going to channel our rune off of Fiora. So our 2-drops get really good with Doran's Blade. Then we've got Hidden Blade Challenge to help us get stuff off the board. Marching Orders, same thing. We're going to try and get units off the board. Lucian is really cool because if we've played a Doran's Blade, then Lucian comes in, equips the Doran's Blade, and is going to trigger our Fiora, giving us runes. So this deck can be quite top heavy if you would like. It can almost ramp. 3 Call to Glory because it's a great card, and we've got a decent amount of buffing. 2 Kingu Monk to do the buffing. We're going to put it on our Ashkans, our Kianas, and that is going to give us mighty procs. And then Kingu Monk basically becomes not a neg 1, which is really cool. Then we've got our BF Swords. For +3, it's just strong. BF Sword immediately onto any of our 2-drops is going to trigger our Fiora and ramp us. So that is nice. 3 Kiana, we want to draw cards. 2 Ashkan, I think this card is bonkers. It should help in any deck that uses equipment or gear. So yeah, I think you could cut this down to 1 and then find an extra, play the 3rd Sea Monkey, play the 3rd Riposte because it's a counter spell in yellow and orange. Yeah. And then 2 Set, he's just a free 5. He comes in as a 4, gets a buff, is going to trigger your Fiora, and now you've got a 5/5 that can turn into an 8, which would ramp you the next turn as well. Yeah, so Set is really cool. So that is it for my first takes on the Spiritforged champions. Let me know what you think of these builds. Honestly, post your builds. I'd love to check them out, and I can't wait to play some Spiritforged. Peace.